Before looking at the devil and Satan in the New Testament in detail, we are going to make some general observations that have a bearing on the subject. Firstly, the devil and Satan are not distinct concepts, but are two terms for the same thing from two different languages. The two terms are plainly equated in Revelation 12 verse 9, the ancient serpent called the devil and Satan. We can also see their equivalence from comparing parallel accounts in the Gospels. In Matthew's and Luke's accounts of the temptations of Christ, the tempter is referred to by the narrator as ho diabolos, the devil, but in Mark as Satan. Again, in the parable of the sower, Mark interprets the birds to be Satan, Luke interprets them to be ho diabolos, and Matthew interprets them to be the evil one. So Satan, the devil, and the evil one are one and the same. Now some Bible students begin a study of Satan and the devil in the New Testament by looking up the words Satanas and Diabolos in a Greek concordance or lexicon. This is because they believe that the dictionary definition of these words is the foundation for correctly interpreting this doctrine. Thus, since Satan means adversary and Diabolos means slanderer, the biblical devil is that which opposes and slanders us. However, as we discussed last time, both of these words came, directly or indirectly, from the Old Testament. They had taken on further meaning as Jewish theology developed during the intertestamental period. So the earliest readers of the New Testament were not starting from a blank slate when they encountered the words Satanas and Diabolos. These words already carried theological connotations in Judaism which went well beyond the generic meanings of the words. A case in point is the use of the word Satanas in the Gospel of Mark. It is generally agreed among scholars that Mark wrote for a Gentile audience, and yet he always uses the Hebrew loanword Satanas and never the Greek word diabolos. Mark does not interpret the word Satanas for his readers, so on what basis could he have assumed his Greek-speaking Gentile readers familiar with the transliteration of the Hebrew word Satan? There are really only two possibilities. One, he took Satan to be a proper name. Or two, Gentile Christians had learned the word Satan from Jewish Christians. But what reason would Jewish Christians have had for teaching this word to their Gentile brethren? There were perfectly good Greek words meaning adversary. The most reasonable explanation is that the early church preserved the word Satan because it held special theological significance. The final observation we need to make is that the vast majority of passages where Diabolos and Satanas occur in the New Testament have the article. That is, they refer to the devil or the Satan and not a devil or a Satan. This indicates that the writers are referring to an existing idea. The New Testament alludes to the devil and Satan. It does not invent the devil and Satan. By contrast, early Christadelphian writers tended to invent their doctrine of the devil and Satan from within the New Testament alone, treating the Old Testament passages as a separate matter. What is more, they rely on the few passages where Diabolos or Satan occurs without the article, such as John chapter 6 verse 70, as establishing the true sense of these words, making them the rule when they are in fact the exception.